What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with day 8 of the 31 Days of Horror 2022 edition. We're going to keep it rolling with another fucking classic movie I didn't discover until years later into my collecting career. We've got 1987's Night of the Demons, directed by Kevin Tenney. Apparently, I picked this flick up at The Beat Goes On for $12.99, which isn't that bad considering, these older or these Anchor Bay releases with, the classic OG logo. They're harder and harder to find every day because this logo is one of the most easiest things to point out or pick out when you're scanning a shelf of movies. You go to a thrift store, that's one of the first things I look at is the top and bottom of the labels just to, quickly make sure I don't miss anything, because that's happened before. Like, I believe Soul Cinema put out Foxy Brown Coffee, Black Cobra, all those good blaxploitation flicks, Blackula, all kinds of movies. And one time I went to a thrift store with my Uncle Mike and he found Foxy Brown on DVD. Totally fucking caught me slipping, if you want to call it that, man. I was pissed. So definitely know the types of, or the different labels that you're personally trying to collect, integrate into your own library, because there's so many of these labels that are putting out heavy hitter banger flicks, and you might not know it from the title, you might not know it from the little image they put up there, although with Anchor Bay they did a pretty goddamn good job of putting pretty captivating little images there, and captivating images on the back as well. Like, I'm totally blanking on this dude's name, but the guy that was dressed up as the pig, that real asshole kind of guy, but we'll get to him in a minute. So again, Night of the Demons is a film that I did not discover until later on in my collecting career, and it was a movie that I first learned about when I got into collecting sort of seriously. Scream Factory was putting out movies like The Burning, Night of the Comet, Mad Max, fucking, dozens of movies. Everyone that was there knows what I'm talking about. So Night of the Demons was one of those movies that was put out, and I remember thinking, damn, that is like a sick name, and I've heard people talking about the movie, and I actually think I found Night of the Demons 3 on DVD before I even seen Night of the Demons 1, so I had that in my collection for a while, and I finally got to sit around, well, this is years ago, but I finally got to sit around watch Night of the Demons and fell in love, man. It's a total Halloween go-to flick, a fun Halloween party flick. Like, I think we had, it might have been Thanksgiving here last year, and we put on Night of the Demons just because it's like a fun sort of, kick-ass type movie where you don't really need to pay attention too much, although you should pay attention to the films you watch. But if you're entertaining people, you can't just sit there and be like, hey, everyone shut the fuck up, we're watching Night of the Demons. You know what I mean? You know how it is when you get with your buddies and you bullshit and all that kind of stuff. So Night of the Demons is a film about a party that's going to happen at this house. That's in like an abandoned haunted house. It's known to be haunted and all that stuff. We got a bunch of different characters, all of your your tropes. You got like your virgin chick, you got like your fat dude, you got a black dude, token black character, you got a hot chick, you got like a smart ass kind of professor type guy, like that dude that's dressed up as like the doctor. I don't know why, but I always get like this weird like he's like the guy that delivers all of your context of the film, you know what I mean? Like, actually, there's a river running underneath here, like all that kind of shit. But the prelude to the party I really like because you get sort of a different, you get like a mishmash of stuff happening. So one of my favorite things about this film, and I think one of the most things that people remember this movie about is when these two girls, Angela's one of them, I forget the name of her friend, but she's played by Linnea Quigley. They're stealing stuff from the store, and the way that they're getting over on the store clerks is Linnea Quigley's like bent over, like showing her fucking total ass crack, pussy, like, you can see it all with, she's got panties on, but you know what I'm saying? You can see it all. These guys are like mesmerized by it, right? So, of course, they don't see that the place is getting ransacked by this Angela chick, who's the one throwing the party, and she's like known as this like creepy chick, but I love how she's getting like paper towel and chips, like everything that you basically need. It's kind of a fucking like a genius way to get one over on a convenience store, or any store for that matter, unless it's being run by like either a chick or just like someone that's not interested in seeing what they see. And I love her line when she's like, do you guys have sour balls? And they're like, yeah. And she's like, I bet you don't get a lot of blowjobs. I just thought that was a badass line. Linnea Quigley she's pretty much dope in everything she's ever been in. I love her in Return of the Living Dead, of course, as the fuck's her name in that film? I don't know, but she's just like a total weird chick who's like, you know, the worst way I could die is like being like mauled by a bunch of like old men, and like that's kind of what happens to her in a way. But that's besides the point. We got multiple attendees going to this party. So we got this chick, the virgin chick, with her like jock boyfriend, of course, little shithead little brother. And there's like this cool, like sort of like Spanish, or not Spanish, but like a New Jersey type kind of guy that's also, you know, interested in the virgin chick. And he actually ends up being a decent guy, like in my opinion at least. And you got those three people going to this party. You got this car full of like this black dude, this fat dude, and then this chick. And they're all like, their car breaks down. There's this whole fucking situation with them, but I love all their banter. And of course, Angela and her friend Linnea Quigley and these other, like the doctor type and this fucking Asian broad, they all show up. And they have this, you know, little party, but of course shit goes sour, and demonic presence is brought upon via a seance, if you want to call it, or like it is a seance. I was gonna say if you want to call it that, but no, it's a fucking seance. And I really love, like, not one thing I totally forgot to mention, the fucking opening intro to this movie, how goddamn cool it is. I think one time I watched it just to see that, because I wanted to look at like the drawings of the demons. Cool fucking stuff. I wish that movies would do stuff like that nowadays, you know, integrate animation into movies and stuff. Or like, you know, what happened to the days of crazy practical effects? Like last night, me and Kayla, we watched Pet Sematary, and like we were so like enamored by like the practical effects on that guy. I forget what his name is, but he plays like the ghost in the film. Like it just looks so good. Like as soon as like they show up to the hospital with the guy like in like the I don't know what it is, like a phony stretcher kind of thing, is bubbling and shit. It's gross. Pet Sematary, I forgot, is a pretty decent flick. I like part 2 better. You know, I really, you know, I thought about making a video about Pet Sematary, but I don't think it's like that fantastic. I think the second one is better. I know a lot of people either love or hate Pet Sematary 2. I'm one of the ones that love it. I seen Pet Sematary 2 first, and not only that, but it stars Clancy Brown, who's one of my favorite actors, very underrated actor. Of course, he was in Shawshank Redemption. He was in Bad Boys with Sean Penn, not the fucking Will Smith film. What else was he in? He was the voice of fucking Mr. Krabs from Krusty the Krab, motherfucking SpongeBob SquarePants. Countless other things. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Really like that actor. But moving back to Night of the Demons, now that like after their little seance happens, all these fucking, this sucks.